Went from the dream to the young supreme. I think that's how I go. What's up, y'all? This is Lawrence Hicks Wilson. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. And you can just call me Lawrence. I prefer that. But today we're going to talk about Destiny's Child's first album.
Don't ever doubt you'll be someone. Always go for what you want. Get up and put your purpose on. Get up, feel the sun shining on your face. Believe that you deserve it all. Put in the work and you'll end up far. This is my show and tell. So tell me, are you ready to get it on? So tell me, yeah. So tell me, are you ready? So tell me, are you ready for me? So tell me, are you ready? Tell me, are you ready?
This is probably one of my favorite Destiny's Child album. I got a lot of notes, but I'm not going to keep y'all here long, Saints, okay? We're going to be in and out, amen? All right, let's keep it pushing. So I just want to point just a couple of things out. So I have some notes looking at me from here and here. So if I'm looking over there, that's because I'm keeping up with what I wanted to tell y'all. But I'm calling all the Destiny's Child fans, calling all the Beyonce fans, calling all the Kelly Rowland, Latavia, and Latoya fans, even Michelle Williams fans. Come on in, DC fans. Look, I'm just playing. No, I'm for real though. Look, and if you don't know, now you know, this is Destiny's Child's first album. Yes, this is them as a quartet, a gorgeous quartet. This is a awesome photo of them on the cover. And this was released in February of 1998. That's why I'm doing it, because today is the anniversary. And of course, the album kicks off with a smashing opening track like Second Nature, where you can hear all four of the girls harmonize together and put their voices together in unison. So let's get into this album real quick. So, before this album dropped, if I was going to set a tone or set an aura for this album for anybody that's never heard it before, or that you just want to get back into it, if I was going to get back into this album, the first thing I would play is Little O's Can't Stop. This was a local hit that they had in Houston, Texas, where they're from, because I believe Little O is a Houston, Texas rapper, if I'm not mistaken, or from somewhere around that part. And I will also listen to Killing Time, which is the song that they had on the Men in Black soundtrack. That's just something I would like listen to before I would listen to their first album, so you can kind of get like a tone setter. Some other stuff I probably would listen to. We're going to talk about their unreleased music, because they have quite a bit of songs that was recorded for this album but didn't make this album. And if you have this album on multiple versions like I do, you know that there's some bonus tracks and some international tracks that may include said unreleased songs. Like, know that. Ooh, we're going to get into that. All right, so their first single, No 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 remix, featuring Wyclef Jean from the Fugees. He's the one that kind of, grandfathered them in a way. They already had business set up and whatnot, but it just made sense to set them up with Wyclef for the remix. They already had a part one, which is an R&B slow jam mix feel to it. But I personally like the remix that has the radio edit, because they switched up the drums, and I just like the effects that they put on Beyonce's lead. I just remember hearing that version play so much on the radio, especially around like late. I don't know if it was like late 96 or early 97, but I know Monica's song, Before You Walk Out of My Life, was being played on the radio so much, and then they would play Destiny's Child. So it had to be either 97. I also remember it being played in 98, because other songs that were popular around that time was, I think it was the Don't Want to Be a Player song. But yes, I remember this song playing ferociously on the radio, and specifically in 1997. This album cover for their single No 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 is screaming 1997. Yeah, sorry, I just had a whole nerd moment. I had to go into the back of my mind and remember some stuff. But yes, I have some collectibles I'm going to be showing y'all. I didn't get a chance to show you guys Usher's cover on the Word Up magazine, because during the My Way era, he blew up. Not only was he all over magazine covers, but he was on TV shows like Sister Sister and Moesha, and there's pictures of that in this magazine. And of course, there's Brandy right there at the bottom with Monica, because The Boy Is Mine had just dropped. What a crazy magazine, right? And at the top, you got Destiny's Child. They had just dropped, and they're saying Destiny's Child, yes, 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 because that No 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 single had just blown up. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of go hand in hand. Like shoo-ba-doo ba ba da. Look, I don't know. I don't know what they're saying in Greece. I just know it's a great song. We go together. All right, anyway. So the album starts off with a slow jam, Second Nature, and it comes full circle because it samples Make Me Say It Again Girl by the Isley Brothers, which Beyonce had a chance to duet with Ron Isley not too long ago, a few years ago. So it was like she came full circle for that to be on one of the first albums that she did with her group, Destiny's Child. That is a personal favorite of mine because of the harmonies and the arrangements, you know, and the lyrical content of that song. So yeah, if you don't know that song, Second Nature by Destiny's Child, get into it. Another thing I want to mention about the girls is they were paired with look, y'all hear? I don't know if y'all can hear the music that's playing in the background, but somebody's listening to Beyonce. I'm not going to say what song it is because I refuse to be restricted. I'm not playing it. Somebody's outside playing it. But and it's the radio. They were kind of like paired with Jagged Edge. I wouldn't say protege, but like they were kind of similar. You know, you have 4 guys, you have 4 girls. So for them to be on tour when they first came out and to promote their album, it made sense for them to be paired with a group like Jagged Edge. It could have been, I believe they did some opening acts for Boyz II Men, but they were really paired with Jagged Edge because it made sense. For Jagged Edge's first single, Gotta Be, 97. You see a 1997 Destiny's Child appear in it, as well as, again, Little O's video. They're in that video too, so check it out. So that's another track and another video I would check out before getting into the world of Destiny's Child's first album. So, of course, going to track 2, it goes into No 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 Part 2. And then it goes into the third track, With Me. I have the With Me singles. With Me also has a music video, so if you didn't know, the Destiny's Child had a music video to these songs, No 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 Part 2, Part 1, and With Me. Check it out. It's on YouTube. I have the singles. I had to get them because I love singles and EPs, extended plays, all that kind of stuff, rarities, promotional demonstrations, all that kind of stuff. So this is an example of a promotional demonstration of their With Me singles that were released, I believe, in North America, UK, and stuff like that. But I don't believe America got them officially. But it didn't matter because No 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 was so big. I don't believe they had room to even promote this, but they should have because it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool video. It was a bouncy song, and if it didn't resonate with the market, like if the market was like, well, we don't know if that song's gonna resonate with the market, it doesn't sound like No 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 Part 2, we don't like how the hook sounds, they should have went with Illusion. They could have went with what's another one? They could have went with Tell Me because they already had No 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 Part 1 that was like a slow jam. They could have went with Tell Me. They could have went with Killing Time officially because it was already on the Men in Black soundtrack. They could have went with the songs that they didn't release in America officially on the album, like Know That. But I know like 98 had rolled around and sonically sound was changing. So I know they were like, we need something that sounds fresh. But they could have gave this album more of a chance than what they did. But moving forward with the album, because I want to get more into it with you guys. But yes, I have the With Me singles. Part 1 is the Jermaine Dupri version. I really like Jermaine Dupri's production on anything that he really does. Especially when it's like a serious track, like if it's not a remix or just like, oh, featuring Jermaine Dupri, when like he's like, okay, they need me to make a track or they need me to pull a track out for somebody. I like what he does every time. So this is the Jermaine Dupri version, With Me Part 1. A gorgeous shot of all of the girls on the front, Kelly, Latavia, Latoya, and Beyonce. Love it, love it, love it. Love these pictures and rarities of them and the themes that they chose, you know, because when you went to their website, it looked like this. You know, you had the little polka dots, you had the pictures of the girls, like it really was a vibe. So go through the archives and please donate to the archives because we need them to save everything. I'm probably gonna do that. I got like $3 for y'all. Look. But yeah, it kind of looked like this. Their website looked just like that. So with me, the next track is Tell Me. What I like about this first album is in the hooks and in the bridges, if not all of the songs, most of the songs, the girls get a chance to showcase their 4-part harmonies and what they sound like harmonizing together. This is why this album is so special, because I feel like you can really hear LaToya, you can really hear Beyonce, Kelly, and Latavia all come together as a group. And it didn't just sound like, okay, two girls is gonna sing the verse, and then we just gonna dub one girl's voice on the hook, and then like dub another voice on the hook. No, this was like every girl. It did, even though they didn't all have leads per se. Every girl had a part, and you definitely could hear it. That's what I really feel when I listen to this album. On Tell Me, you can hear a lot of LaToya and Beyonce merging their voices together. You hear LaToya on the hook, as well as all of the, you hear the voices underneath it. And I can't pick out which is which sometimes, but to me, it sounds like it's LaToya and Beyonce singing the hook only. That's what it sounds like. If there's anybody else, it's probably a dubbing of Kelly singing the same note and Latavia doing the lows in Tell Me, because there are some lows in that song. On Bridges, that could have been another like early single by them, because it was like 97, 98, but I see it could have been money, it could have been marketing, it could have been timing, everything. But Bridges, that was honestly going to be the name of their album before it was entitled this. It could have been a lot of other names that they had for it, but I know on a demo tape that's floating around, it says Destiny's Child Bridges. So that was I guess the slang name that it was going to be that. But it ended up being self-titled, which is pretty dope and pretty appropriate, because we didn't know who they were. So now you can say their names before they could even make you, right? So Destiny's Child Bridges. It has a sample by Al Green. I believe that's an Al Green song. It's gonna come to me later, but I'm gonna keep it pushing. But it's definitely one of those Al Green songs. Dun, 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 that one. And again, you can hear all of their harmonies. If you listen to the bridges, you can definitely hear LaToya at the top. You can hear you can hear a lot of LaToya, it seems to me, like carrying the top. No, part 1. You can hear all of the girls, all of them. With Me, this is With Me part 2. So With Me part 2, it's a Master P version. So Master P has a song called Trick Hoes. Look, don't, hey, sorry. Hoax. YouTube, don't do that. And they sampled that beat, or rather rearranged it and made it fit for the With Me song, and they made a remix to it, and that is that is a remix they put on the album. So on that, it sounds like it's just Beyonce and Kelly on that one, but it could be all of the girls on there. Show Me the Way, it's all of the girls for sure. You can hear a lot of LaToya in the B hook, like before the actual hook comes in, and then on the hook, you can hear all of the girls, especially at the bottom. And during the hook, show me the way to love you. I feel like you can hear somebody at the bottom singing that, and it's probably Latavia. But it didn't matter, because you could hear other songs where all 4 of them are bringing their voices together. So the next song, Illusion, it's another one of those Wyclef Jean songs, and Proswell from the refugee camp, the Fugees. That could have been another single. It sounded just like it could have been like right after No Part 2, or right in between after they released Tell Me as another ballad. It could have been released, anything, but we didn't get it, but it's okay. We got Illusion released as a single, I believe, in the UK. Over there, they got that with some remixes. So check that out because I believe that's on Apple Music. I don't have the physical copy of the Illusion single, but it exists. So it would have been pretty cool to get a video with the version that's on the album, not the remixes, because the beat is pretty dope. It reminds me of something that Maya could have done. You know what I mean? Birthday. Birthday is another prime example of all of their voices blending together. You definitely hear Latavia. You definitely hear Latoya. At the top, you definitely hear Kelly, and not on the obvious parts where she has a verse. And of course you hear B on top of all of that with Birthday. I thought it was pretty original for the girls to have their own birthday song. Like it was almost like, okay, when this is a song that people will sing by us every year because it's a holiday related song, and it definitely could have worked had it had a video to it. It gives me Tony vibes, but it makes sense because I think that's who's producing it. I believe this was like one of those guys from the Tony group. Let's see who produced that track because I don't want to steer you guys wrong. So Birthday, you have so Birthday, Dwayne Wiggins. That's why it sounds like it could be a Tony song because it's produced by Dwayne Wiggins. It's that vibe, like, you know what I mean? And then the track after that is Sail On, which is a cover by, I want to say, Lionel Richie. And you have My Time Has Come. I don't know if that's a cover or an original, but it's a gorgeous song, and it's dedicated to Andrea Tillman. They're one of their original managers that was grooming the group in a positive way, putting them together to become performers and artists before she passed away. And they dedicated that song to her, as well as Amazing Grace, which ended up on their second album, and some copies of their first album. This is an alternative version of their first album with all of the same tracks, including Sail On, My Time Has Come, but the last two tracks is Know That and Amazing Grace, like I just mentioned. So it's on their Japanese version of their first album. This is the Japanese version. And I believe other parts of the UK, I believe. And this is the standard version. The standard version. But this is the international version because it has Know That on it, and it has You're the Only One, another unreleased track that should have been a single or on the standard versions, period. And then you have a remix for No 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 and Illusions called Dublusions, which was a remix because it was again released as a single, which is on the international version. So if I was to give this album a rate to 1 to 10, it would definitely be a 10 for me. It's complete. You know, it had the international versions and the Japanese versions. The songs that they used for these ended up on the standard version for the US. The album would have definitely popped even more because Know That, You're the Only One are not on the standard US versions of this album, and this is what it looks like. And I don't know if anybody remembers the early versions of Destiny's Child's album. I want to say it has always been this cover, but something tells me that it probably was this, and then they changed it to this because this was a more polished cover for 1998, rather something that looked like it was coming from 96. But y'all let me know what y'all remember. I remember the album always looking like this. And then, of course, their single for No 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 looks like this, and this is the Japanese version of their album. But let me know, like, was Destiny's Child album released in like late 97 and then they re-released it in 98? Like, let me know what y'all remember. Was this the actual original cover and then they changed it to this, or was this always the original cover and then this became the Japanese version? Because I learned sometimes they changed the covers because, like, for instance, in Saudi Arabia, they don't play that skin showing out there. They will re-edit your album and cover up everything so it could be, you know, appropriate. But my favorite tracks off this album, it's not even on the US version, but it's on the international version and the Japanese version, and that's Know That and You're the Only One. Standard wise, my favorite tracks will be Second Nature, ranking at number 1. Of course, No 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 Part 2, Tell Me, Bridges, Killing Time, and Illusion. But this album is very, very complete, and I would have to give it a 10. You know what I'm saying? Destiny's Child. Y'all give it up for Destiny's Child, and check out their singles that were unreleased. Like they have some songs that were unreleased called Never Had a Love. They have an unreleased song called You're the Only One, which is on the international version. And some other versions of the first album. They have Show Me. And they also have, what's this other one? You and Me. You and Me is probably my favorite unreleased song that should have been on the album. This album went platinum. Their first single went platinum. This is a clipping out of a Word Up magazine. These girls were blowing up at the time when this album dropped at the top of 1998. This is out of the Word Up magazine with Usher, Monica, and Brandy on the cover from June 1998. So by June 1998, these girls were already blown, like, you know, glamour, like getting glamour shots. You know what I mean? I mean, they were already getting glamour shots, but like they were having pinups of them being put, you know, in place for them. There's so many other pictures I wanted to show you guys, because here's one. And then of course I had some of these pictures on my wall because I just love these girls a lot. Here's another pinup before I lose the page that I want to show you guys. Are pretty cool. This was probably one of their single covers from No No No, probably part 1, but it landed in the Black Hair magazine. So if you opened up Black Hair magazines at the time in, you know, June, July 98, you know, at some point in 98, I loved how they used, like, you know, older pictures of artists and then Photoshop them, because this is like June 98 and Brandy was clearly wearing micro braids and these are box braids. Only I would notice details like that, right? Look, but it's a gorgeous shot anyway, and you see the picture of the girls at the top. Destiny's Child. Yes, 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 again with that headliner. Seemed like a lot of magazines were using that headliner. Yes, 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 because of their single that had just blown up. And they were also sponsoring hair brands like Botanicals, and had like special CDs to come with hair products. You know, there's Latoya, Latavia, Kelly, and Beyonce for the Botanicals product line. I mean, these girls were blowing up. They were doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, these are some pretty cool pictures that I had on my wall. There's Beyonce and Latoya, and then you got Latavia and Kelly on the back. I had to scan these and reprint these because some of the pictures of the girls were actually on the back of each other, and I was not about to choose. I wanted all 4 of them, but to preserve them, I have the reprints like kind of like this, and then I just store them away until I decide what else I want to do with them. If I want to give them away, or rehang them up, or frame them, or just keep them away somewhere. But yeah, thank y'all for watching my video. I hope y'all have seen the My Way video that I have uploaded as well. Also with the Usher's first album review and Brandy's first album review, as well as my Brandy covers. Check out all of my videos on my YouTube channel. I'm under the same name on all social media platforms, Lawrence Hicks Wilson, but y'all can just call me Lawrence. Shout out to you, Auntie Ree. I'm wearing your shirt today. Minding my own purpose. Minding my own purpose. All right, now, y'all check out Cherie Patrice's music, as well as my music. I'm supporting all artists here. And speaking of artists, if you didn't know Destiny's Child had a first album entitled Destiny's Child, now you do. Go check it out now. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.